welcome, and good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and HoTS fans of all flavors. This morning, we have an NGS Season 19 Division C match between Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah. Bad Rats have banned, as you can see on your screen, Garden of Terror and Cursed Hollow, while HoTS Tuah have decided to ban the Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queens. And they don't seem to like the small maps. They want them big ones. So, map number 1 will be on the most fun maps we have in Heroes of the Storm, Infernal Shrines. Now, because we do not have a draft segment because of a replay cast, we will do a very quick draft analysis after we hop into the game. And then we will see what these teams have to give us. Remembering, as I do, the Div C standings, both Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah are up there. These are two good teams, and I cannot wait to see what they bring us in this Season 19 matchup between Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah. Let's hop into the game and see who they picked. So, from Bad Rats, we see that they've drafted Kerrigan, Deathwing, Blaze, Anduin, and Sonya. So, very interesting composition. They've got 5 melees and a healer. That looks like a main tank Blaze because Ding Dong is their main tank. Vink's very skilled on the Deathwing as well. So this is a team that wants to win the Shrine. They are good at making space, they're good at brawling, and they're good at killing minions. So these guys want to jump on you, want to lock you down, and want to beat you up. They want to fight in the alleys, and in the hallways, and in the main street. They just want to brawl. Deathwing with the global, Blaze has good clears, Sonya and Kerrigan have good clears, so they should be able to make use of both Deathwing's global and the wave priority options they have. The only downside they might have with this team is going into Jaina Vala. They have some opportunities for slows and stuns, which might make it hard to connect with their melee abilities. On the far side, we do have HoTS Tuah, who have drafted Chen, Jaina, Vala, Rhaegar, and Muradin. So a very good all-round comp. Chen, with that barrel, can try to disrupt some of the melee engage from their opponents. Jaina's always very good into heavy melee or close-range heroes, because, especially at 16, when she can root them, then she can really start to put out the damage. Mamius Vala is the DPS hero he plays most often. He's pretty strong on her. And, of course, Muradin has the ability to get in and out, but I would say even he might struggle with the amount of crowd control that exists on the side of Bad Rats. But they also have the ability to clear waves quickly, get wave prio, and take out minions. So it's going to come down to who can play their comp better. So without further ado, let's hop into game number 1 between Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah. Thank you so much for the Prime sub, Goosifer. In the blue, representing the high heavens, we do have Bad Rats. French is on Kerrigan, Vinks on the Deathwing, Ding Dong playing Blaze, Neum on Anduin, and Jamster bringing Sonya. And on the right, representing the Burning Hells, we have HoTS Tuah. We've got Chen, played by Chicken Meow, Cyanide on the Jaina, Memius plays Vala, Vextha brings Rhaegar, and Code Name 0 is on the King of Dwarves, Muradin. Looking at our level 1 talents here, we have Fury of the Swarm, so more shields for the Kerrigan. The Molten Blood for Deathwing, which is fairly common. Codenames are taking a good chunk of damage from that Fire Breath there. Is it called Fire Breath? Molten Flame. We do have new habits, so the Unstoppable on his trait talent for Blaze, which is fairly common when he's played in the main tank role. Gucci Fur. You got it, Gucci Fur. We get even-handed blessings from the Anduin and the Slam build. Furious Blow from Sonya. Both teams now just going Oh, but some good stuns there. Memmius is incredibly low, and the Vala is dead. They're going to jump on a Cyanide as well. Jane is dead also. And even in the early game, the stuns and the CC is very powerful, and the DPS of HoTS Tuah learns it the hard way. A 2-for-0. Codename Zero looking to be annoying as they jump on this cam, but now he's in danger. Almost every character here has a stun, except for Anduin, who has a root. So this camp will be collected early by Bad Rats as Vinx takes to the air with that Deathwing as his team rotates to their own camp. So we do have the freshest ingredients for Chen Regen Glow build. We have Fingers of Frost for the Jaina, Puncturing Arrow, so the Hungering Arrow build for Memmius, so that death will not cost him any Gambit stacks. Oppressive Dragon Breath of Hell. I just like to call it Hellish Halitosis, but hey, to each their own. No, I'm teasing. We've got the Colossal Totem, so the Totem build for our Rhaegar, and Third Wind for Muradin. Now, I actually don't know how valuable Third Wind is going to be again into this heavy melee team that wants to jump on you, wants to stun you. I think Dwarf Block actually would have been pretty valuable into the strength of an auto attacker like Kerrigan here, but Codename Zero is a better Mura than me, so we'll trust his choice on this one. So, things do seem to have settled a bit, but there's a full level advantage for the members of Bad Rats so far in this game, as both teams looking just to clear their camps. And now that's one thing the melee characters on this team have as well. They're slightly better at camp clear than Chen is. Chen is very good in lane, he's very good at surviving. His camp clear is fine and safe, but it's slow. So he will be used to push lanes out safely, and he and Muradin should be quite survivable. But again, stuns, Chen does not like a lot of stuns. His survivability comes from his alcoholism, and it's hard to be an alcoholic when people keep beating you over the head. Well, I mean, that often leads people to becoming an alcoholic, but it's hard to be an alcoholic during that process. So the first punish will be a Frozen Punisher. Very, very powerful. It locks down buildings, it roots your enemies, and the space that all these melee characters can provide, and that Kerrigan can leap on these minions to finish them off and keep getting resets. It means that HoTS Tuah looks like they're just going to seed this early on. They're going to give it up to Bad Rats because they can't afford to jump in here. Codename Zero dropping the Thunderclap, but the first Punisher will easily go to Bad Rats as the members. Now the problem with the Jaina Vala together is they're both to some degree scaling heroes. You want your Ice Block and you want your Fingers of Frost to be done. You want some stacks on this Hungering Arrow. But Codename Zero, he takes the jump. Now he's taking the root. Kerrigan's gonna come in here and put some damage, and the fort will not respond because it is frozen. The Cataclysm does come out from Deathwing. They're looking to put punishment onto these characters behind the fort, which again is like they root Codename Zero. He goes for the Dwarf Toss, but it's too late. French taking a lot of damage. What a great pull there from Neum. Saves the Queen of Blades from being the Queen of Corpses. Punisher is about to go down here, but they get a full fort from it, and they are still an entire level ahead. They will steal their opponent's Khazra camp here for the siege, and Jamster is dual laning. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Jamster is usually the one of the DPS, so he's actually dual laning as an offlaner, so he's showing he's a double threat here. He can offlane, he can DPS, he can play piano. What can Jamster not do? So we see that the members of... No, they're looking for ganks. I see that Sonya is not rotating. She's back in the mid. They're looking for a kill here. They want Sonya out of position. They're going to throw all the damage. The totem comes out as well, and Jamster has no way to survive this. What can he not do? Survive when he gets triple ganked. Codename Zero is going to come out and smack Ding Dong with a Stormbolt and the Thunderclap. I literally cast a curse the daylights out of Jamster Sonya there. The stun will come out onto Chen. The pull, the stun, taking a lot of damage. He does get to use his E, which is called Stagger, and that will keep him alive for the moment on that big, big gank. but the gate is taking a ton of damage from the Molten Flame of Vinx. What can he not do? Dodge Stitches hooks? We got Malthael here, boys, because the shade's been thrown. Now the Counter Camp is pushing bottom, and it has yet to be contested by the members of HoTS Tuah. It seems Cyanide might be sent to go deal with that. And forced, again, because of the amount of engage on the side of this unusual draft from Bad Rats, Jaina has to rotate the safe way. She can't afford that somebody would be sitting in these bushes. So Cyanide will take the safe route to clear out these minions. They're going to push, get wave prio top. Chicken Meow smells the gank coming, though, and safely retreats behind his gate. I thought maybe they were rotating to that, but they're not. Camp is up in 1 minute. So, 10s have come out for both teams. We do have Summon Ultralisk for Kerrigan, Bellowing Roar for Vinx's Deathwing, the Bunker for Blaze, Light Bomb for Anduin, and Leap. So the Leap Light Bomb combo can be huge if timed correctly. It can give you, I think it's 4 seconds of stun. 1.25, 1.25, so 2.5 seconds of stun. I'm wrong, but still, 2.5 seconds in a team fight is a long time. We've got the Wandering Keg for Chen, Summon Water Elemental for Jaina, Rain of Vengeance for Vala, Ancestral Healing for the Rhaegar, and Avatar for Murden. We see an attempt at some fighting coming out here, but they manage. HoTS Tuah manages to protect their camp here, and the top shrine will pop. This one will be an Arcane Punisher. We can tell by the little purple gem here in the middle. And once again, getting space, getting priority on it is Bad Rats. They're going to jump on Chen and stun him. There's the follow-up stun. Here comes the Light Bomb, but Wandering Keg cannot be affected by that. Vexa does get caught, though. Kerrigan jumps onto the Rhaegar. The Rain of Vengeance comes out as well. Bellowing Roar happens, and there is a fear onto Murd, and Avatar is popped. Chicken Meow staying alive. French takes a lot of damage, but this fight is all over the place. They're trying to chase the Chen. They get him in the sharpened blades, but he manages to step into a bush and is safe for now. We saw 9 of the 10 ultimates popped there, and no one has died. But the Cataclysm is still up for Deathwing, meaning they have a slight advantage at the moment. Out comes the healing for Ding Dong is on himself, but a lot of damage comes out. A good pull there from Neem as Ding Dong is down to 160 HP. Vinx will Cataclysm back into his team, forcing them to take damage, but now the health bars are starting to favor HoTS Tuah. Lots of damage onto French there. Codename, or Chicken Meow comes in with the Wandering Keg once again. Ding Dong gets isolated from his team, has to pop his trait, is unstoppable, but it won't be enough. Pull is on cooldown, and Blaze will die. But Vinx has been hunting minions the entire time, and Deathwing gives his life to summon the Arcane Punisher. Sonya will handle the Bruiser camp that was left top, and there is some push up. They get the root, an excellent root by Neem, and Kerrigan kills Vexta's Rhaegar. Damage is coming out from Cyanide Jaina, but she's being chased. A great spear there from Jamster. They managed to kill the Jaina as well. It's a 2 for 0. They also managed to catch Memmius Folly. He's dead as well. Chicken Meow is all alone here and does jump onto Neem, but now French will not forgive the Panda for beating Anduin. Out comes the Summon Ultralisk as the Arcade Punisher is just all alone here. The Wandering Keg will keep him safe, but Vinx will jump in with his Global. Tries to put some damage onto Chicken Meow. Now, the ultimate is a short cooldown for Wandering Keg, and it looks like he will stay alive for now. But they are mercilessly attacking this top fort, and it's already down to a quarter of its full health. Huge minion wave is here. It's going to get some damage on it. It looks like they can clear in time. Will the minions kill the fort? No! It is left alive with 116 HP. In the meantime, though, Jamster Sonya was able to steal the camp here. She's currently taking the bottom camp, and there is no way they can contest it in time. This will be captured for Bad Rats, and this camp captured for Bad Rats as well. And it seems like they've practiced this kind of composition before. They have been ready. Now, a trap is being set by HoTS Tuah. They need to find an advantage here, but sniffed out by Ding Dong with the oil spill. Codename Zero does step onto the point. French Kerrigan has to duel the Murden here, but a huge light bomb and kills Jaina! They kill Memmius! Vexla's low, but he misses the ancestral healing himself. This is stolen by the Murden, but Vexla will die. Codename Zero just trying to keep himself safe, but he's now being jumped on by 5 members of the opposing team. Out comes the stun by Kerrigan. It's a 4-0 for Bad Rats as they destroy. And it was not worth it for one Khazra camp. HoTS doing what they needed to do. They had an even talent tier. They had a choke point. But they got 2 split in the early portion of that fight. Now Chen is alone, but does manage to pop Wandering Keg, knocking his opponents away. And cooldowns are short enough at this point that HoTS is back to defend. Jamster taking a big chunk of damage there, but 16s are here for Bad Rats, meaning that they're going to feel very confident sieging. And in the middle, it's just minion wave sieging in. Now HoTS is hard on the back foot after that failed engage. They're going to jump onto Vexla's Rhaegar. He pops. Oh, he pops like a blister. Oh, poor fella. I thought he was going to pop his totem, but instead he popped. Like a zit when you're 16. My goodness, poor Vexla. I mean, I didn't have acne. You had acne. Awkward. So. Yeah, you see Bad Rats is feeling really confident here. This is a composition they're extremely comfortable with, and the timing of their crowd control is chef's kiss. It's good. Vinx is going to get targeted down here by Memmius and Codename Zero. He's down to about half health, but he can just fly, and apparently clouds mend wounds when you're a cataclysmic evil dragon. Bye. HoTS now waiting to soak until they're 16. Codenames are, but they're knocking Ding Dong in with the Wandering Keg. Oh, but the Rain of Vengeance misses. Out comes the Munker, keeping him safe. But once again, HoTS is so split, and Rhaegar is killed as they tried to get this crescent shape. Codename Zero jumps out from the light bomb, but now Chicken Meow is taking a ton of damage, with Stagger keeping it alive only momentarily. Codename Zero has very little health, but is being chased by this Ultralisk. Jaina murdered by the Blaze. The Ultralisk trying to fight the King of Dwarves, but he ain't scared of no Zerg. It's called a Zerg, Lester. I love you, Sarge. I mean, that was some great. Still have acne at 40. Popping is bad unless followed by off. You guys are very correct. So, they put, I don't know, 3% damage on that keep, but in the back, the Deathwing is still killing me. This is what Deathwing does every day. Everybody looks like ants. He steps on them and breathes fire. This is just Tuesday for Deathwing. Codename Zero having to wait for their Jaina to come back, and they're a full 2 levels behind as this full bruiser team. Now, technically, Deathwing usually gets played somewhat as a mage, but he counts as a bruiser. So the Mortar Punisher is coming out. It does do a good chunk of damage in the later game. It's not as strong in the early game, but once it scales a bit, it's really strong. But Blaze gets caught here, is stunned out. The bunker will save his life for now. He has the Jet Propulsion and the pull by Neem. But the leap is onto the squishy members, and Memmius gets caught by the sharpened blades and is blown away by Kerrigan. The light bomb will catch 2 as the Fear catches 2 as well, and Chicken Meow is low. He's killed. I didn't even see Muradin die, but it happened. It's a 3-for-0, a 4-for-0, and Cyanide backs away as this Punisher is blowing away, and the kills are 19-3, and Bad Rats are almost 20, as it looks like they have everything they need to end the game right now. The Molten Flame is on core. The melee characters are slapping it around, and even Anduin is doing what he can to do some tickles. Game 1 will go to Bad Rats. GG. Whew, that was domination from minute 1. And again, HoTS is not a bad team. They're a very good team in Div C. And they didn't look like a Div C team in this game because Bad Rats was so prepared. for what they wanted to do, and I did think I think both the composition and the cleanness of it did catch HoTS Tuah a little off guard. The jet propulsions from Ding Dong were on point. The follow-ups from the sharpened blade Kerrigan on point. Now, I've been told by the members of Bad Rats we can't give French too many compliments, but French, your combos were clean. And just a beautiful application of the full melee team, and the number of times they managed to just find a moment where the tanks weren't there, or Chen would jump in, and I think they may have found a little more value if the Wandering Keg was used to peel Jaina Vala as opposed to try and start an odd-numbered fight. Because the problem was, the team was split. Every time Chen and Murden would jump in, the team would get split. Rhaegar was usually kind of off to his side to make sure they weren't clumped for the stuns, and then everything went to hell. So, incredible game number 1 from Bad Rats. They do earn the victory. We'll see if HoTS Tuah is able to bring it back in game number 2. Give compliments to French in French. Mais oui. He is incroyable. So, game number 2 will be on a map we don't frequently see in NGS. It is going to be Le Temple de la Sky. We don't get to see Sky Temple all that often. Teams often avoid this map. And I'm told by higher level players that it's because if you can get even a slight structure lead, all you have to do is trade temples for the rest of the game and win. So it really rewards macro, and you can't really be forced to fight if you don't want to. And for that reason, teams who like to team fight really dislike this map. But it's where we're going. I don't know who picked it, but we'll find out who wins it in about 20 minutes.
I would prepare for your ceaseless battle.
So, let's have a look at where this game will take us for game number 2 between, well, we know where it's going, but let's see what they do on Sky Temple for game number 2 between Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah. So, once again, the blue side will be Bad Rats. They've drafted Falstad, Samuro, Diablo, Rhaegar, and Sylvanas. And to be honest, what this team screams at me is macro pressure. Sylvanas, with the ability to push buildings down very quickly. Samuro, one of the most annoying push heroes in existence. And Falstad being able to either join fights or fly away and create macro problems for the enemy team. And so they have a lot of tools for doing what they want. And Vince's Samuro, I mean, Samuro is never the greatest teamfight hero. He is an offlaner who doesn't bring a lot of power to a team fight. But I've seen Vince's Samuro do good things in team fights. I'm not saying it's a great team fight hero. Vince can find some value. Basically, if you can come in halfway through the fight and start irritating the crap out of the backline, you've done your job on Samuro. You're not usually expected to kill anybody or even CC anybody, but if you can show up, Bladestorm, and make the mage go away, or even make the mage run away, you've done your job on Samuro in a team fight. So this is a team, and the Diablo and Rhaegar gives them hard engage if that's what they want to do. If they find opportunities to grab somebody, you can either gust the rest of the team away for essentially a reverse Stitches, or you can you can flip someone, mind control them, blow the rest of the team away, or if they follow in, you can blow them underneath your fort or your keep. So they have a lot of tools for controlling where the enemy team is and where they can't be. And that's incredibly strong from Bad Rats draft. Now on the far side, we have some repeat heroes. We've got Chen, Vala, Anduin, Varian, Li Ming. Very, very much up pick comp. Varian just is a pick comp tank. That's all there is to it. Anduin with the root follow up, Vala with the Rain of Vengeance follow up, and Li Ming with the ability to hit combos on whoever gets taunted. Means if you get hit by taunt and you're not Diablo, looking at this enemy team, you're probably dead. Simple as that. They don't have the Anduin for pulls this time. So that does mean it's very... If played well, when people go to macro, if you can catch them with the taunt and blow them up, you can really control this map if you're crisp on rotations, if you're smart with where you're going, and, you know, if you can hide near the points and get them to show up there. So both these teams have different ideas of how they'd like to win this map. Let's see which one wins it. Game number 2 between Bad Rats and HoTS Tuah will start right now. I love the maps discussion in the chat, by the way. I'm 40 seconds ahead of you because I don't change between live and replay, so unfortunately I can't join in, but love it, love it. In the blue, we have Nutty Rodents. We have the Bad Rats. French is on Falstad as a Duff on a Duck. We've got Vinx on Samuro, Ding Dong on Diablo, Neum on Rhaegar, and Jamster is playing Sylvanas. In the red, we have HoTS Tuah. We've got Chicken Meow on that thing, Chen. Memmius is playing Vala, Vextha is on Anduin, Codename Zero plays Varian, and Li Ming is being piloted by Cyanide. So they do go for the bottom cheese, but there are two here to defend. They're trying to just get that first tower, and they will be able to with the 5-man. But in the meantime, getting an experience lead with Varian in the mid and Chen in the top, it's an opportunity for HoTS Tuah to get themselves a little bit ahead in experience, but they weren't able to push the mid lane in far enough to cost any experience. Loss to Bad Rats. However, in the top, some of these minions will die, and a tiny amount of experience lost, but honestly, not as much as it could have been. So, try to catch you for a solid week. I do a lot less live casts now that I have a team, because I have, you know, I try to have at least one date night a week with my long-distance girlfriend, and I, and then I have a practice a week and a game a week, and then if there's any other social requirements of me, get it. And then I'm free on weekends, but almost nobody plays on weekends, and if they do, Toki has picked them up 2 weeks beforehand, so getting live casts can be tricky. Here is the attempted invade. They do jump onto Memmius here. He will get out Ding Dong, in fact, getting very, very low here. But no one dies, and we're still in a deathless game number 2 so far. Looking at our level 1 talents, we do have a Gathering Storm Hammering build on this Falstad. We have Way of the Wind for Samuro, Soul Shield for Diablo, which often precludes a, or predicts a Lightning Breath build. We've got the Colossal Totem for the Rexar, and Might of the Banshee Queen, so the stacking Q build, which is good. For Sylvanas, when she's not playing into a super tanky team, which I'd argue she definitely isn't. On the far side here, we have Eye of the Tiger for Chen. The Puncturing Arrow build once again for the Hungry Arrow stacking for the Vala. We've got Power Word Shield for Anduin, who is soloing this camp, because why wouldn't he? Trying to take after his papa. We've got the Lion's Moss, the stacking Lion's Fang for the Varian, and we have Force Armor for the Li Ming. Temple's coming up in 25 seconds. They are looking to push into the Chen here. It seems Chicken Meow's pretty comfortable on the Chonky Panda. Memmius has come to help Vextha take the camp. This camp so far is pushing in with Samuro and the Black Arrows of Sylvanas. Now, Vala has good clear. Chen doesn't have much good clear to offer in the offlane, which makes him a little weaker on macro maps. But he does things no other offlaner can really do, so Fat Illidan definitely has his moments. In the bottom lane, they are still trying to catch French with a taunt combo setup. But that means Vinx is taking the middle by himself. And Memmius gets jumped on in the top. A great pull there by Vex that keeps Vala alive for now, as already 9 stacks of the Puncturing Arrow quest. but both of these shrines so far are going over. Now, Vinx will have to run away as Cyanide and Codename Zero come in, but that is one of the best things that Samuro can, or what's one of the things Samuro is strongest at. The Blade Master with all the bravery of a chicken and heat. So, if your own stream nights try to get my booty down to Buffalo to spend time with my polycule. I don't know what a polycule is. You're teaching me things I have no idea. But most of these shots have gone over, and a fort is already down against HoTS Tuah. It looks like they're fighting over the vision here, but for now it will remain in the hands of our red team. Nemeus gets jumped on and blown away by French and Jamster, and that will actually be first blood in match number 2. They're going to get the taunt onto Jamster, but the purge comes out from Neum. That feels a little premature because that taunt timer was almost already finished. The black arrows will come out, then they jump onto the Anduin here. He's going to get some heals. The jump is onto Jamster by Chicken Meow's Chen. Gets very low. The heal comes out from Neum. There's the taunt, and they kill Sylvanas. So it's long in coming, but a 1-for-1. In the bottom, French is going to soak up some XP. In the top, Vinx is doing what Samuro does best, saying, answer me or I'll take your everything. Nobody responding yet to the big orc push in the top lane. Chicken Meow just now coming in. Vinx going to slow down that rotation, make it harder for Chen to get there, meaning some gate damage will happen from this catapult and this big backline of minions. The invade will come out here. They do taunt onto Ding Dong, and now this camp experience will go over, but it won't get any damage on the fort because it's cleared quickly by Bad Rats. And this game is looking more even than game number 1 did, although about a half-level lead still because of the global and the Samuro for Bad Rats. Ding Dong is going to take a lot of damage. He has 84 souls, but he's taunted now, takes a lot of damage, hardly survives, but both tanks are incredibly low. Codename Zero with 200 hit points, he's going to escape as well. And once again, nobody dies, but lots of damage handed out for free. Now, this is a temple that will spawn by itself. And this is a very important temple. Can HoTS Tuah get experience back to level, get build structures back to level by capturing this bottom shrine, altar, temple. Temple? Temple. Capture the temple. I can read. Now, many people say that Samuro is good at wave clear. Samuro's medium at wave clear. He's not fast at clearing waves. Literally none of his abilities outside his ultimate, they catch and kill Sylph. Nothing besides his ultimate clears waves quickly. He can safely wave clear better than almost anyone, but he's not a fast wave clear hero. He just isn't. I say that as an expert offlane, the expertist, actually. Vinx will have to step off the temple, meaning it is now an opportunity for HoTS Tuah to grab it. While we look at this, Bladestorm, they do get onto the backline and onto Chicken Meow, but a good switch there from Vinx means he'll survive for now, but he jumps onto the point. Some cheeky play there from the offlaner for Bad Rats. The Wandering Keg will knock Ding Dong all by himself into a corner, meaning he's not in a position to jump on his opponents. He does get to thump Chen just a little bit. They've traded the shots so far on this temple. Nemesis will come in, a good stun there from the Rain of Vengeance. Chen will jump onto Falstad, although a good silence coming out from the Wailing Arrow of Jamster. But once again, ultimates are used and no one is dead. The flip comes out from Diablo. Here comes a Lightning Breath. Oh, but the Gust knocks the Light Bomb into their team, but now it's a 3-for-0. Vexta gets the root out. Ko taking a lot of damage. So is Vexta. He throws the heal, but the black arrows comes out. Which means they can jump onto the Anduin. He's hardly alive, but the butt bite from the Rhaegar means Anduin is killified. Codename Zero is all by himself against 5 members. He's running away. He's running away. I've seen my son die. I've seen my son die. Well, I'm not sure why he decided to run back and fight a minion for a second. He does get the shield wall momentarily, but he also gets the death. And that is a full team wipe with no kills to return. And that is rough. Abathur is safe for wave clear. Abba doesn't wave clear. Abba sends his children to wave clear. Kind of a rude parent. It's like when your parents make you weed the garden when you don't care one bit about the garden. Anyway, Bad Rat's looking to take both the boss, but Vinx is split off taking the Giants. This could end up costing them. But they... Oh, the Gust comes out. That is the boss on their side. So not punished for taking this boss fairly early in this game. Now, 10s are out. We do have the Mighty Gust. They engage onto the Chen, but Wandering Keg comes out. The flip is onto Varian, but Ding Dong does get knocked in, as does French. But the Wailing Arrow comes out, silences both the DPS. Light Bomb will come out from Vexa, which for the moment will keep him alive, but he can't afford to step onto the boss, and he will die to the Falstad. Good Rain of Vengeance from Emius will keep them alive, at least for now. But Chen is defending the mid. They do at least have a camp pushing top. That is a help. But right now, Bad Rats are looking... Again, I cast a curse poor HoTS Tuah. I said the game was looking fairly even. And then Bad Rats wins a 5-0 and takes the boss. Again, boss goes down, but the Black Arrows will come out. But the taunt is onto French, but a great purge from Niam's Rexar means he is alive for now. Ding Dong. They're looking to finish off the keep, and they do get it with these Siege Giants. Yes, Diablo's taking damage, but he has 100 souls. He should be fine. But out comes the Wandering Keg. The Ancestral Healing is popped on him when he uses the Lightning Breath to keep himself from getting killed. He thinks he can get a 1-for-1. He does flip Varian in. Codename Zero does get pulled out, but now Chicken Meow is being chased by Falstad. And so it will, in the end, be a 1-for-1 on some very heady plays from Bad Rats. In the meanwhile, Diablo had full souls, so he's back in 5 seconds, looking to clear top as Vinx takes this middle temple, at least half the shots. Well done there. As in the bottom, Sylvanas and Rhaegar rotate to take the bottom shrine. Once again, pushing an advantage with the global and the pseudo-global, meaning that they once again are leading on the objectives on this map. So, 10s have been in for a while. We'll go over them quickly. Mighty Gust, Blade Storm, Lightning Breath, Ancestral Healing, and Wailing Arrow. We've seen all of those used so far. And Wandering Keg, Rain of Vengeance, Light Bomb, Shield Wall, and Wave of Force. And the middle keep will go down from this bottom shrine, and some shots onto the gate here will now follow. Both teams stepping back to take a breath, but it is a full 2-level lead for Bad Rats once again, and they do have their 16s. So they can afford to go wherever they want on this map, whereas HoTS Tuah is going to have to play this very, very cautiously. They cannot afford to lose even one character with this talent disadvantage, or the game could end then and there. The game could end then and there. Yeah, I can speak English. It does look like Falstad's being chased here in the mid lane. Does manage to barrel roll away, as we can tell by the shield. And this pick comp desperately needs to, in fact, get a pick. They need one person from the enemy team to die, which will let them more safely gather experience on this map. They're headed towards this top lane gate. Chicken Meow is seen. He does pop the Wandering Keg, knocking Vinx into his team. The clones come out, meaning that for now he's alive. French does get taunted by Codename Zero, but there wasn't enough damage to follow up, as once again, they're very, very split. Sinai is taking a ton of damage from the Lightning Breath and is finished off by an auto from Samuro as Codename Zero attempts to save his DPS, but is also murdered. We see the jump onto Memmius' volley here. Gets flipped into the team. A great pull there from Vexa. Will keep Volley alive for now, but French is not satisfied. He's going in hard. The Black Arrows will once again prevent this team from taking any damage as they dive. And that's something that's happened. They seem to be very aware when they can and cannot dive. And boy, howdy, are they aggressive when they know that they can dive. There's the flip on a Chicken Meow, and it looks like they're looking to end the game, but the death timers are very short. Cyanide is back. Varian is back now, and the members of Bad Rats will back off, although it's now a 3-level lead for our blue team. They're going to step up and steal their opponent's Siege Giants, giving them one less place in which to gain experience. But HoTS Tuah will take their Bruiser Camp and look to grab some of these. But the problem is now 2 temples are coming up, and they can't afford to give up an entire temple, I don't think.
My magic flows.
Oh, goody, I get to ban somebody. Well, that's fun. It's really hard to do on the phone, though. There we go. So, both temples right now in the hands of Bad Rats. Not 16 yet, for the members. They're flying top. They're looking to jump onto Vala, and she's dead. In the bottom, they do get the light bomb keg. They stun the Rhaegar. They push them off. They're content to just push them off for now. Diablo's in here, breathing lightning on Cyanide. Li Ming will die as souls are once again filled. And that's it. Game number 2 will go to Bad Rats in a very, very dominant series. They had a plan for both maps. They executed that plan on both maps. And again, I think the crazy thing, especially from Tuah's perspective, is they didn't draft poorly. They drafted fine. They drafted well, even. And they played their comp well. But Bad Rats came in with a plan, and they executed it so crisply. And there was just nothing Tuah could do to answer that plan. This Samuro Falstad setup to put pressure wherever, and then being able to come in and do damage. And in game 1, that 4 bruiser setup designed to just pressure. They made it look really easy, but I can tell you, these setups are not super easy. They were just played exceptionally well by Bad Rats. So that will be GG, a 2-0 domination and 4 points in the standings for Bad Rats. Thank you so much to both these teams. Thank you to everyone who stayed by and watched. If there were any new followers today, thank you for doing so. And thank you again, Gucci Fur, for the sub. The VODs will be available on Twitch for 7 days or on my YouTube. Umster? Yeah. Highest damage on team to Diablo. Ding Dong was unafraid. And went in with them stuns. So, with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday. Yeah, like I said, this game will be uploaded. I've been Umster. Please go enjoy yourself some Heroes of the Storm.